Story 1. It used to be for interesting discussions about my hobbies. Now that every subreddit has become politicized, I use it to read about the generalized derangement on this site. Story 2. For me, it's a safe space. As an introvert, I have never been good at communicating with people, but here I can do that, knowing no one will judge me. Story 3. Reddit is an excellent information aggregator. It is the best source for news as it pulls from thousands of sources. The voting system allows the best stories and comments to rise to the top of the comment section. This way, you receive the most important stories along with analyses. Story 4. Mostly fandom topics. No one I know in real life wants to talk about my shows. However, I also find general topics of conversation interesting. Story 5. I would like to express my opinion, which may seem controversial to many. However, I notice that few can present valid arguments against it, aside from complaining. Story 6. It used to be for entertainment and escapism, but now it feels like I am criticized for not agreeing with every random thought that others have. Story 7. Connecting with other antinatalists and occasionally introducing antinatalism to those who are unfamiliar with the concept. Story 8. See what is happening in Melbourne and Australia sometimes. I should probably find communities that interest me rather than just receiving local content and general topics like this. However, platforms can easily provide me with that content through algorithms. Story 9. To learn English and understand people around the world. I also love the way individuals interact on this application, at least based on my observations so far. Thank you, contributors. Story 10. I mostly enjoy when people here make me laugh. Occasionally, there is also good information or even moving stories, but it is the laughs that I come back for. Story 11. This account is a nice way to look busy in the office when I'm trying to kill time. My other account? You really don't need me to answer that, right? Story 12. For when my chronic pain is flaring up and I need a distraction. That's it. Story 13. Sometimes I restore my faith in humanity, so I head to Reddit to regain some equilibrium. Story 14. Various reasons exist for this. Old school trolling can be amusing, but it is also entertaining to observe how many people believe the false claims made by others. Story 15. To be honest, I just want to be myself. Sometimes that means arguing with strangers, and sometimes it means offering them support. It also involves expressing my opinion, regardless of whether it is right or wrong. My now ex-wife's family always ridiculed me for things I said or posted on Facebook or Instagram, so I decided to delete both accounts. Additionally, Reddit has a wealth of knowledge and news that you can't find elsewhere, along with a fair share of nonsense, which I appreciate. Story 16. To discover interesting information that I wouldn't have found without studying a topic and items related to games. Story 17. Bored and looking for new ideas. Watching a new movie or show and want to see the comments in official discussion threads. Checking adult content forums for new models to follow. Posting for fun. Story 18. Looking at people's thoughts expressed in short, sometimes humorous digital sentences while subconsciously never acknowledging that they are real individuals. That and watching adult content. Story 19. I discuss and learn about things I like, and I sometimes try to make new friends. I use Reddit with these objectives in mind. Story 20. Getting annoyed at people asking if they are overreacting to situations when they know they have not overreacted, simply because they seek validation. Story 21. I got on here last year to promote my music and discovered that my life experiences offer valuable responses, making me feel useful in this life. Story 22. Information, entertainment, amusement, and writing exercises are not as important as a boredom killer. Story 23. It's an interesting place to watch echo chambers devolve into groups of people filled with hate-filled ideals. Story 24. Lately, I find myself increasingly anxious about the collapse of my government. I often check for new game releases and read comments discussing why each of those games might not be good. Story 25. I need something to look at during my work hours. I am rarely online after work or on the weekends. Story 26. It occupies my time with small snippets of information. can be a distraction. I frequently experience migraines, and this helps me pass the time when I can tolerate screens. Story 27. I am here for comment karma, so I can post on a subreddit. Please help me get 300 comment karma. An upvote would be appreciated. That is why I am active on Reddit, despite having this account for 3 years. Not that I deliberately ask for upvotes, but you understand. Story 28. Gaming is my primary interest. I prefer not to search for answers online when I'm stuck. This place is excellent for getting advice on various topics. Story 29. I discuss role-playing games with others, stay updated on local events, and watch to see if anyone has managed to eliminate the Nazis in the White House yet. Story 30. There is not a single purpose. It is nice to see insights into people's lives, share stories, meet people, engage in lighthearted conversations, enjoy funny memes, and most importantly, appreciate cute animals. Story 31. Yelling at Europeans to shape up and take on the mantle of leaders of the free world. Lately, anyway, I used to use it to find comics. Story 32. To have a streamlined experience based on my current interests, unlike other social media platforms that push content I may not want to see. Story 33. It is entertaining and interactive, but the moderators are harsh, and the numerous rules make posting difficult. Story 34. Discussion of adult content, complaints, arguments, or conversations about video games, movies, and wrestling. I use it as a news source but no longer trust any political news on Reddit at all. If something happens, I check politics and conservative forums, trying to deduce the truth from those two sources. Story 35. Honestly, just see what musicians think or have discussions about guitar. I'm also into Rocket League, so the esports side is interesting to see other people's perspectives on certain situations. Story 36. A replacement for TikTok can be more engaging as it allows for interaction in conversations rather than just videos. There are various opinions shared, mostly leaning to the left, which can be a bit annoying, but it remains enjoyable to connect with others, especially since there is a lot of discussion about Grey's Anatomy. I've been eager to see if others share my feelings about certain topics. I'm here for the Grey's Anatomy talk. Story 37. I joined to learn more about different subjects. However, I became gradually involved in inappropriate content and general trolling. It turned into another time-wasting activity that I can't seem to escape. Story 38. Entertainment has declined significantly as a website. You will be permanently banned for using inappropriate language. Story 39. Communities for discussion include games like Ace Combat, Project Wingman, Need for Speed, and Ridge Racer, along with a few anime and manga I follow. That's about it. It is far friendlier and more anonymous here compared to platforms like Facebook. People on more mainstream social media seem to take pride in their craziness and ignorance, wearing it like a badge of honor, and I no longer want any part of that. Story 40. I believe Reddit's strength lies in its niche communities and the ability to discuss various subjects. Personally, I enjoy keeping up with certain games, movies, and television series. However, I don't think it is suitable for discussions that go deeper than surface-level insights. For instance, in highly specialized areas, accurate information is often downvoted while incorrect information receives upvotes, simply because some users write better or because it aligns with popular opinions. Story 41. Advice and research on my favorite topics help me feel less isolated in the world, reminding me that my problems are not mine alone. Story 42. A very unhealthy time synchronization at this point. Other than that, I am following hobbies and researching new topics. Story 43. For everything, any kind of hobby, I know I will find a family in that subreddit, people with the same burning passion. I have not encountered a single subreddit where people are hostile. Sure, there are some individuals with different opinions, but it is never extreme. Whenever I have a problem, I simply search Reddit problem, and it works. Story 44. My hobbies are writing and politics, and I enjoy debating because it helps me learn about various topics so I can craft well-worded rebuttals or gain a new perspective. I often visit politically charged forums and argue all day, and while it can be both fun and sometimes infuriating, I find it engaging. Story 45. To gather opinions and information on certain topics and locations. I recently joined a political group to understand what the supporters of former President Trump believe. It is alarming how influenced they seem, and I find it concerning. Story 46. Sometimes I just like to argue. I'd rather get it out online than with my husband. I can be difficult, so I argue. I am not especially proud of it, but it works for my emotional containment. Story 47. Just passing time and finding interesting things to read, while also keeping up with the decline of our democracy. Story 48. I just use it to keep up with technology. However, now I am wondering when it will be too late to leave the country if war breaks out. Story 49. Personal interest or humorous articles and videos, along with the occasional pun or quip. Story 50. To check on my hobbies, profession, and the movie and game franchises I am interested in. I regularly glance at what is popular in my country and worldwide. This is out of curiosity and to stay somewhat up to date, but it is not my primary reason for using Reddit, and I rarely comment in subreddits that I do not actively follow. Story 51. While I enjoy scrolling through Instagram, I am actually a huge reader and comprehend better when I read something, so I come here. Story 52. Conversely, it uses me. I am not sure how, but I feel as if it does not serve me without taking something in return. Story 53. I downloaded it to argue with people because it's amusing to debate with people whose real identities you don't know, and vice versa. Imagine arguing with someone who is secretly your best friend or perhaps even your dad. Story 54. I come here for news and to mock clueless supporters of the Make America Great Again movement. With the country going the way it is, finding pleasure in others' misfortunes is the only fun I get. Additionally, I enjoy the Death Stranding subreddit. It's the only place where I am not sarcastic. I absolutely love that game. Story 55. For confirmation that I am a regular person and whatever is happening in life has already happened to someone else, and they are mostly doing well. This includes advice, not safe for work material, band updates, and real-life topics. Story 56. I no longer want to depress and infuriate myself. I am getting used to restricted freedoms and unfounded allegations. Story 57. At this point, I am distracting myself a little. I have two noteworthy topics of interest that I'd like to discuss. Yu-Gi-Oh! And Mortal Kombat. Regarding Yu-Gi-Oh!, I frequently check the main subreddit for news about support for my favorite deck, Six Samurai, or I post custom cards to the custom Yu-Gi-Oh! Subreddit. As for Mortal Kombat, I have grown to dislike the subreddit. The Mortal Kombat fanbase seems less intelligent than any other non-ironic subreddit I have encountered. There are various reasons for my opinion, which I won't go into, but there is certainly notable non-ironic foolishness happening there. This is disappointing as I truly love the franchise, even at its worst. So I mainly lurk in that subreddit as well. Story 58. To explore interesting topics and for adult content, my preferences are well catered for. Story 59. Do not engage with delusional mothers of three on Facebook who cannot accept that, no, that old man did not build an entire pyramid, and the melon motorcycle is not real. It is artificial intelligence. Story 60. I use it for niche interests and research, such as hunting, camping, and biking. I have 95% of subscriptions blocked because it is primarily focused on politics. Story 61. I'm trying to start a lost media search for a creepy stop-motion film I saw when I was 5. So far, I have had no luck. Please check my post on the forum if you're interested. Story 62. One of its best uses, in my opinion, is to find answers or advice from real people. There is a reason why people have started adding Reddit at the end of their searches. You actually get an answer from a person. I also use it for discussions about various topics. Tabletop role-playing games are a big one. Like all hobbies, you can discuss your experiences and help or get help from others. For example, I have found myself in a difficult situation with my Call of Cthulhu game. How do I keep going and maintain the fun in this instance? Story 63. Mostly to stay connected with the community of a few games, but also to find answers to certain questions related to content I watch or read, and to engage in discussions with others. Story 64. I just arrived after deactivating my business and personal accounts on Facebook and Instagram after a significant change occurred. I am enjoying it so far. It seems like a good community. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.